What do a millennial and a pastor from Gen X have in common? Not much, but they love the Lord and they love life. Join us as Justin and Sam look at the lighter side of Bible, church, and life with Making Light of It.
All right, welcome to episode number 18 of Making Light of It. I can't even remember the name. It's been a minute. Which episode 18 means?
10 y 8.
10 y 8.
10 y 8. 10 and 8.
10 and 8. 10 y 8. Okay,
Yes,
I got it. I think. Yes.
D.
10
y
y
8.
8.
It's almost like you were giving it a name. 10 y 8.
Yes, that's right.
Announcing it in.
It does kind of have that sound
10
to it.
y 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, now coming around the bend, 10 y 8.
That's a good way to start.
Little number
That
8,
sounds like a great introduction
just
to
swinging
this.
through. See, I know these things.
Thank you very much.
I know Espanol. I know Espanol. So we're finally back recording after a bit of a break.
Yeah.
It feels like forever. And ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Rob is finally back in the house. He decided not to watch the Phillies, who are currently in a massive losing streak.
It's funny. I seen a Phillies fan on Facebook the other day literally just like flip from what they were a few months ago, which was like best team in baseball. And then like now they're all of a sudden they're a joke. I don't get the joke. But
Well, they were the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
And now they're
That just goes to
below
show how
500 and
quick,
less.
a few
Baseball,
games.
it's a streaky sport.
Yeah.
Anyways, like streaky players, streaky sport, whatever. They haven't done so well since Mayor Rob cut out on us and went to a game. So perhaps that is the Lord telling him what's going on.
We don't want to talk about this anymore.
But since we last recorded, I went on vacation.
Yeah, dude.
And
Talk
so
about that.
had a great time. And one of the things that happens on vacations, now I am into fitness. Into fitness, taco in my mouth.
Let's go.
But so
like tacos.
I have been like constantly fighting this battle of eating good, eating right. Like I'm very consistent in my workouts and my patterns.
Yeah.
But vacation mode is a whole nother beast.
Vacation will ruin it for you.
Yeah, so
Set you back.
And we went south, and I don't know if South knows health. So everything's fried.
Yeah.
All the sweets are extra sweet.
Yeah.
It was quite. Listen, there were some delicious options.
Yeah.
Had lots of fun. Really enjoyed it, but man, did my health suffer.
Best but worst dish you had out there. So best dish, it tasted amazing,
So
but it was
I don't
want
want to call out. There's a restaurant where someone said like you have to eat at it, you have to eat it, have to eat at it, and eventually we worked our way over to it and we ate at it, and yeah, we didn't have to.
Could have done without it.
It really didn't. I'm like, yeah. So family style is a big thing down there, where they just bring it all in trays and it's like unlimited, but they bring it out, and it's good. It's all right. It's not like fantastic.
Right.
Now, in my family, we try to eat together as much as we can.
Yeah.
And more often than not, throughout the week, we get that opportunity with me, Joyce, and the boys. So the concept of family style, it's not, we do it anyways.
It's not different to you.
But I can get it. I get it. A lot of people are like, all right, we're coming and how the dish is presented and all that kind of stuff. I get that fanfare to it. So I can tell you that one, I was not impressed. I mean, it was good, but I was like, this is not like, if I missed it, I wouldn't have been too upset. I did get to try some fried catfish.
Okay.
Big fan. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But they oversold their tartar sauce. I like a good spicy kind of tartar sauce. And
Wish I could say like I like both of those things that I can't say I do.
have you ever had catfish?
No.
Then you can't say you
I don't
don't.
like seafood in general.
Catfish isn't seafood. It's river food.
Okay, that does change.
Just like that. It comes from the river.
All right.
So it's got a.
That's a good argument.
Do you like any fish? Any fish
I
taste
really
at all?
don't. I mean, there's a Spanish. It's called a bacalaíto, and it's like it's like fried. It's not even. I don't know. It's fish in it somehow. I don't know how, but it's a fried. I don't know how to
doesn't matter
explain
what it is. If you fry it,
But yeah, it's good. It was good. Yeah, because most likely if it wasn't fried, I probably wouldn't eat it. So the fact that it's fried, yeah, which gets me to thinking. I've been eating pastelillos the past couple of days, and I am.
you have been banging those things. Have you been making it? Like you're making them
at
all by
home,
yourself, though.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's not like you're ordering them, they're frozen or anything like that.
No, they're straight from the frying pan. Which, nope, it's a little bit more oily when you get it fresh from home.
Yeah, when you're making it all
just
by
throw
yourself.
it on, and you're like 5 minutes later. All right, they're done. Let me eat. Oh wait, there's still mad oil on them.
Like, yeah, now
I've
now
been
we're
regretting
doing
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like the diet's gone down, and I've been trying to line it up this week. One of the great diet tips, or excuse me, fitness tips for losing weight. A lot of people be like, oh, I ate this, I need to spend like you have to do so much working out to compensate for, say, like 500 calories. The best way to lose 500 calories is to not consume 500 calories.
Yeah.
That's the greatest secret of them all.
Yeah.
But when you are on vacation, it is just junk food after junk food after junk food after junk food, and your body starts to feel it, especially if you're used to eating a bit healthier. I mean, we're walking all over the place, but we're just feeling sluggish. I mean, like my body was just starving for some natural, some good nutrients, some homemade food.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads me to our food for thought, a great segue.
Yeah.
All week, it was just I mean, listen, there was a lot of garbage I was consuming. It was delicious garbage.
Yeah.
Delicious garbage I was consuming. All kinds of delicious sweets and main courses and barbecue this and fried this and fried that and special coffees here, special coffees there. I went the whole week without a Dunkin'. I had one at the beginning and one at the end. Nothing in the middle. That was
no Dunkin'. What did you drink? Like, what kind of coffee was it?
Whatever coffee was around. Like, so I hit up this joint and do some.
And it was comparable, better.
Dude,
did you miss Dunkin'?
There's a coffee. I miss Dunkin'. I miss my people. There's a great coffee joint down there. It's called Black Rifle Coffee. They make coffee. It's a veteran-owned, veteran-operated. They had a coffee shop, so I'm like, yeah, I definitely have to hit up their cold brew. It was called Smoky Joe Cold Brew. It literally had like a smoky essence to it. I would break up a Dunkin' in a heartbeat if that was around us. So all this garbage food, and it literally took me, like, I'm just now kind of recovering from that. But when you put garbage in your system and you go to try to, like, your body no longer works at peak performance, so garbage in, garbage out.
That's right.
Which leads me to, drum roll, not me. I'm not sharing the devotional thought this time around. And to all the people, they're rounding up. This one's on you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm taking
Senior Justin.
I'll take it. But I'm doing it all in English.
Or is it Huston?
Justino.
Justino?
That's what my grandfather used to call Justino.
Justino. It sounds like
there's an O added in Spanish.
There we go. Well,
I'll take it.
The J silent and the N has an O.
That's right. That's right. But garbage in, garbage out. So that has been a huge statement or, terminology in my life from since when I was a kid. My dad used to say it all the time. Now, technically, it comes from like the computer world where it's like, if you put faulty data in, you get faulty data out. But I think that same, as you kind of start describing, the same idea and principle can be and should be applied to the mind and the heart of a Christian. So I'm going to attempt to kind of illustrate how this should work in our lives. So, just stay with me there. But I gave you a couple verses.
Yes, you did.
Right? So we'll start with the first one. That is, what is that one?
Philippians 4, 8 through 9. Right. And I don't have that one highlighted in my Bible, but I have underlines on it.
There we go.
Check that out.
There.
All right, Philippians 4, 8 through 9. Finally, my brothers, love this verse. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable. If there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you.
Amen, amen, right? So Paul's stating there like 8 different virtues, I guess you can say, or 8 different things, fruits of the Spirit that you can look for in things that you can focus on, things that are good for you, right? So if we take the opposite and we allow garbage into our minds, and garbage, so the instant thing that comes into your mind is like a garbage can. But when we talk about garbage, we're talking about like content that is filled with just nonsensical things. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What conversations are you indulging in? Right. So nice all pivot. All those things can, if you're letting garbage in, garbage is going to come out. So the anger, the hate, the grudging, the jealousy, the sexual immorality, the lying, etc., is going to come out. But Paul is saying here, if we allow God to dwell in us, and if we follow His word, if we seek His face, and if we're in constant fellowship with Christ-like people, then the whole entire game changes. And he's saying that when our attitudes and our thoughts and our actions, everything else flows from godly things, focusing on good things, then in turn, they will show the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And the most beautiful thing is he says the God of peace will be with you. And the God of peace is literally the God who embodies these 8 virtues, right? He is true. He is honorable. He is just. He is pure. He is lovely. He is commendable. He is of excellence. And so some people will say, well, how do I know what is this? And how do I know what is good? And how do I know what is...
How do I know what is true? How do I know what's honorable? How do I know what's pure? How do I know what's lovely? You can stop me anytime here. How do I know what's commendable? How do I know what's excellent?
If we want to know.
How do we know, Justino? How do we know?
If we want to know, and if we want to find out what those good things are, what has those qualities and characteristics, let's look at Jesus first.
All right.
And Jesus will guide us to those things.
Starting point.
I do need to interrupt you guys and say that this is going to make an awesome reel.
I like that.
It would until you interrupted it. You know what isn't included in awesome reels?
Intrusive thoughts.
Statements of this is a great reel.
Yeah, now it's no longer. Way to ruin a reel, Robert.
We just had it. We had it going on
You
there.
really ruined it.
Stay tuned. It just might show up.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. But with that said, I gave you a second verse from the book of Luke.
Yeah, Luke is one of the Gospels, right?
Yeah, that is one of the Gospels.
I have the Gospels tabbed in my Bible because I was doing Gospel comparisons with study when I first got this Bible. So I was like, let's make it easy. Go here. Luke 6:45. Let me find. There we go. It's down at the bottom. No highlights, no nothing, but it is in red. Ooh. The good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure produces evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks.
Yes, and that should speak to us, right? We got to keep in mind that what comes out of us as a person, as a being, is a direct reflection of what we're allowing into us, right? The way that we speak is a direct reflection as to who we're hanging around or what kind of shows or music that we are listening to. And we may think, oh, that's just a song. That song plants a seed, just like it's just a Bible verse. So it plants a seed.
Just to piggyback on that, probably one of the most dangerous things we have, obviously, is social media and reels.
Reels, Robert.
Who would make reels? But what happens is there becomes these trendy songs that kind of get on there and they get played over and over and over again. And people, most of these songs, now for the most part, what you hear is okay. But the whole of the song is no bueno.
No bueno at all.
It's exactly like we don't know the things that are penetrating us like persistently.
Yeah, and low key things that we literally don't even notice.
It doesn't matter. Like let's use the analogy. If we're constantly throwing away trash, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be big, little. Eventually, what's going to happen? It's going to
build up,
fill up. And unless we purge it, unless we do something to clean it or prevent things from going in there, it's going to spill out. It will come out of us.
Yeah. And a big thing for me was music. Music is life for me. Music is everything.
I knew you were going to get there. I had it. I should have wrote it down.
It's a thing. I love music. I've always loved music. Now, in doing this and preparing for this, and where this literally comes from is the whole garbage in, garbage out. There was this, when I was young, my dad actually introduced me to Christian hip hop.
There you go.
And there was a rap group called K2S, Key to Salvation.
K2S.
Yeah.
They had great names back then.
It was a nice, it was I think a Mexican male from California and an African American male from California. And they, grouped together and they made an awesome, it was a tape. I had a tape player and everything.
I believe it.
It's called Welcome to the New Era. If you ever get a chance to check it out, it is totally your 90s hip-hop Christian album. But it is solid.
Sold. I love that
and
stuff.
when I tell you it's solid lyrics. Like you may think, oh, this sounds like a 90s. Yeah, but listen to the words. Like in the one, I got a couple songs here. In one song called How We Groove, it talks about
How we groove.
And it's talking about how
that is
you
such
may
a
listen
90s title.
Exactly, right? And it gets worse, trust me.
I believe it.
But it's saying you may groove to your classical, you may groove to your rock, and you may groove to your R&B, but we groove to holy hip hop. And it's like those words. Yep, that's simple.
But that's a great line.
But it's a great line. Why? Because as a kid, and that's coming out of my mouth. Right. That's what I'm singing. And as an adult, it's stuck with me.
Still
like
there.
I still
you
like
found
it's
it.
the premise. Yeah, some people get ashamed because I only listen to Christian music rather than the secular music. And again, not to say that there's not wholesome things in the secular world, but you gotta have discernment, like major discernment, and it makes it harder. So it's easier to just say, hey, if it's in the Christian realm, we should be
Listen,
fine.
where we're at now with Christian music and selections and options.
Yeah.
Honestly, now listen, there's some great songs out there, but most of those great songs are like from decades ago when But like when they just created songs for fun of songs, there wasn't any junk in it. And
Nowadays,
stuff like
you
that.
got some. There's a lot of heart behind it, a lot of spirit behind it, which is it's good to see. Even like a modern rapper, NF, and I know I've let you and devil in some of his stuff. And
listen, I might have introduced him to you for all I know.
Possibly,
I heard.
But even in my life, right? I was, as a young kid, it's terrible, but I was a big Eminem fan.
Any of you old people want to know, NF is literally the letter N and the letter F.
Yeah, there's no. It's his name, but I know it's Nate.
No, his God-given name is not NF. Well, it's the initials.
It's the initials first. Yeah. That's what I meant. You got me. That's 2 times already. All right, I'm just
keep going. Let's go.
But all right, so the song "The Search" it says. The point I'm making is the mind is a powerful place, and what you feed it can affect you in a powerful way. And that's pretty cool, right? Yeah, but it's not always safe. And the premise goes right with it. What you allow into yourself, it's not always safe, and you can allow junk into your life. And guess what? The byproduct of that is going to be junk coming out of your mouth, out of your life, out of your actions, so on and so forth. Now, not saying the ultimate key to everything in life is listen to Christian music, but it's going to help you in that area of life.
And to bring it into like a workplace environment or something like that, like I know a lot of guys who are CEOs. I know a lot of people that work in construction, rough environments, and think about the language that guys use in those environments. Mayor Rob, you work in one of those environments, right?
Yes, I do.
So he contributes to that as well. No. Yeah. But when you're surrounded,
Guys aren't right. You're not right.
By that kind of language and stuff like that, that penetrates your head. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, when I'm around them, it's natural for me to say that. Well, that language is not glorifying and honoring to God. Yeah. But it's hard. It's harder for them. I'll admit it's harder being in that environment. I was in construction. I was in sales. I knew the stuff that was constantly being, around me. The things that were considered funny, like it was just massively inappropriate, the massively bad, foul language. But you hear it. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, like it penetrates. It's in your mind. I'm like, oh my goodness, you got to fight extra hard. Yep. And that's where you start to think on what is pure, what is true, what is honorable, what is excellent. Like you start to really focus on all these things because you're trying to replace that. Yeah. And our brains are a sponge, man. They are
big time.
If you don't know, like say things around a toddler.
have a toddler and talk around them. They will remind you of how sinful or how imperfect you are.
The brain is a powerful, foul thing.
Yeah, very powerful. So be careful with what you put into it. I know
be careful.
It can be
little
tough.
Eyes, what you see.
Yeah, careful little ears, what you hear.
Yes, sir.
Because
it's a great rap.
No matter, actually, we should remake that.
It's a bop.
I don't think anybody's done that yet.
I guarantee you Google it, someone's done it. It's probably a good bop. It might be. What was that first group you mentioned?
K2S.
K2S might have. Is it K, the letter 2?
The letter 2 and the letter S, yeah. Or the number 2, letter S.
Yeah, number 2, letter S.
Wait, what?
I don't know what we just said. Apologies to K and S.
Yes, K and S.
Is that their name?
That is their group name.
With their initials of their name?
Not their God-given name.
Not their God-given
That is
name.
Technically, the initials of their group name.
What are the guys that are playing that? Do you know their names off the top of your head?
K-Buck and D Smooth. You know what Buck stands for?
Not at all.
It's BUCC. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Go.
Brother Under Christ Control.
Yes, it is so 90s.
And one of the lyrics here, once again, is what you listen to, adding fire to your soul, will take it from me, the brother under Christ control. Garbage in, garbage out. And that's without a doubt.
K-Buck
and D Smooth.
That is so nice.
Shout out to you, Dad, for introducing me to
great
K2S.
job, Pops, because he saw something in you and wanted to invest and push it.
He took me to Promise Keepers Crusade, whatever you want to call it, years ago when I was a kid in Baltimore. And I'll never forget that. I think I got introduced to Israel Houghton there, and that's when I really got into started to get into worship music in itself. And that Promise Keepers album, I'll always remember it to this day. The Katinas, stuff like that. Like
the Katinas, I was
great.
In the Katinas, yeah,
Love it.
Good stuff.
Such good worship music, and I play it around my kids, and if I'm in the mood and I'm playing all this other stuff, I'm just glad that they're getting quality stuff rather than, I'll sit back and, I fight nostalgia a lot. So sometimes I got to fight when that old song comes on from my childhood. I'm like, oh, that's such a bop. And you're like, that's right. That's why I don't listen to that. Okay.
Right, I got that real fast.
Mom, Dad, why did you let me listen to that song when we were kids? They were totally, but, so that's a real thing. Nostalgia fighting that stuff it's legit.
Well, it's in the filing cabinet.
Yeah,
it might accidentally get pulled out every 100%. Every now and then. That's good stuff, man. Well, hey, let's round of applause. I think that's an excellent point. That is the essence of the Christian life. Is we need to be careful and watchful what we consume. That's why we talk about prayer and reading your Bible and listening to worship music, listening to appropriate preachers and
yes,
which is another thing. It's like it just rabbit trails. So you gotta be careful, like what you initially start to consume, because in the next level and all that kind of stuff.
Who's associated with that? What do they believe? What do they stand for? Things like that. That's a whole nother realm of discernment. Yep, there's steps. There's definitely
there are a lot of guys out there spitting.
But if you're mindful of it, and if you're having that discernment, then hey, you're not going to be perfect, right?
You know what I think is really good to put in your system? Podcasts like Making Light of It.
I think so. Yeah, there's good podcasts like that. Number one,
and coming
podcast
soon,
in the world, Making Light of It.
Number one podcast in our church.
In our church.
With
we have the most fans right here at 1800 East Broad Street.
It is a great. I so appreciate when people say that they listen and they're excited about it.
I had one of my youth group teens, Elijah, messaged me, I think last week. So shout out to you, son. He messaged me. He's like, "Oh, I'm catching up." So the week that we got back from the missions trip, he's like, "I'm catching up." Next thing you know, he said, I just finished the last episode. I can't wait for the next one to drop tomorrow. And that was last episode. So he's
Elijah,
on point.
Get on that. Yeah, son.
He's up there.
I'll shout you out, kid.
He's knocking them out back to back just to get caught up. So I appreciate that.
It's funny you say that. My brother was listening. Shout out to my brother who was with us, Seth, a couple months back early on. And he was like texting me. Like he said, he'd gone on a mission trip vacation, like weeks he was off, so he's catching up on them. And he was texting me comments as he's listening to these things. I'm like, dude, I can't even remember all these things.
Wait, what did we talk about on that one?
It was like a play-by-play of his day, just listening to it.
If you leave a comment, if you send us something, we'll shout you out, okay?
Yeah, we're not.
If we remember, we'll shout you out.
And still waiting for mom. Still waiting for my mom.
Mama Rample.
Still waiting for mom to get back to me.
I got to check up on my mom.
I know Dad's on. Haven't heard from her in a while. Haven't seen the comments.
Either,
I know we got some hardcores out there. We can't shout everyone out, but we'll get there.
We love you. We love you.
So speaking of garbage in, garbage out. So do you remember when you were in school and your teacher would say, "All right, clear your desk," and she'd hand out the sheet of paper, and it had numbers 1 through 10 on it, and she said, "All right, we're doing a spelling test." I hated it.
Yeah.
And I hated it so much, I thought to myself, we need to do a spelling contest.
That's great. Only thing I'm thinking right now is I can't look at my buddy Cam and be like, "You got me."
there's no, can't lean over and look at the other sheets or anything like that.
Wandering eyes.
You always got me.
Always got you, Robert.
I don't trust.
I'll cash app you after the recording.
Speaking of not trusting Mayor Rob, he's actually the one who has the list in front of him. Oof. He is going to work his way through. So these are, listen, I found the link. I have not looked at these words.
Fair.
So I found a link, sent them over to Mayor Rob. So Mayor Rob, we're going to do this because I feel like torturing myself in this process. And we're going to do a spelling bee, good old-fashioned spelling bee. You don't have eternity to figure this thing out. Mayor Rob is going to articulate the word as best as he possibly can. Hopefully it is standard English. And we're going to start, because it'd be too easy in the beginning. We already found out I'm smarter than the 5th grader.
Yes.
But to catch you up to speed, we're going to start in 4th grade.
I'll take that.
4th grade.
Also, question. We're like just saying it. We can't write it and say it?
No, I would say probably the fair thing would be not to write it.
Just spell it out.
Gotcha. So we're spelling bees. But I might write, like when you go, I might write your word down.
I gotcha.
So I can just try to keep pace on.
I'm telling you what the word is.
Keep your mind sharp.
What's that?
I'm telling you what the word is.
Yeah,
there's no way I can spell it without knowing.
You say.
Guess the word that is in my head right now.
We ask you for country of origin. You give us all that stuff.
Use it in a sentence, and then you give it to us anyway. So
I don't know. I think all it does is give you the word. I don't think it tells you anything else, right? So it's on you to pronounce. Pronunciate.
Oh,
well.
gosh,
We
that
both
could
have
make or break,
computers in
too.
front of us. We have to
Yeah,
hands
we are
off
not- I
on the
can't-
computers
Kinda
during that
cover
process.
that.
All right, May Rob, our first fourth grade word going to Justino.
Justino.
Okay.
Dale.
First one up, we have symbol.
SYMBOL. Symbol.
That is correct. You were
Wait,
Sam's like, oh, come on. That was an easy one.
say that again.
symbol.
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 You know what I this is where we're going to run into a problem because I was thinking a music symbol and that's spelled
Isn't
completely
that
different.
BAL? SYMBA?
It's CY. It starts
That's
off.
right. CY.
So that's right. So we may
I could have
run
been
into
completely wrong. I was so confident.
right. That's why when you put that out.
So can we? But then it's incumbent on him knowing what context.
So
the
if
word
it's a
is.
word that can be multiple, so yeah, well, you know what? It's our first time.
Hey, listen,
we'll figure it out.
you gotta figure it out, Rob. Okay.
All right, give me you did spit that thing out pretty quick. It
Too
makes me
fast.
super nervous. All right, give me a fourth grade word.
Fourth grade word? That was a fourth grade word. by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah, and I get a fourth grade word now.
Yeah, it's his turn. He doesn't
jumping
start at
around.
fifth. He
All
starts
right.
at sixth.
Fourth grade word for Sam.
SAM. Thank you.
Mammal.
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 That is correct.
There we
job,
go.
Sam.
All right. Very good. Okay,
Sam, well,
so
smart.
now we have graduated fourth grade. High five, my friend. Very good.
Ooh,
All right, moving on. Now we are on into fifth grade, and you'll start with me this time.
All right. We're going to fifth grade. Are you guys ready?
No,
Okay.
this is the worst idea I think
been
I've
a
ever
while.
had.
All right.
This is so bad.
Sam, your word is going to be hatchet.
Okay, hatchet. HATCHET.
That is correct.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
that
say right
pause
on,
there got
yeah.
me.
Hat chat.
Hatchet. All right, got that.
Hopefully,
okay.
hopefully, mom's phonics nights are gonna come in handy
Words
today.
are nuts.
Do you want a fun one, Justin?
Yeah, he wants the most.
want one.
He wants the mostest fun one you can possibly give him.
All right, Justin, your word is divisor.
Ah, divisor.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Hold on a
I
minute.
don't know if he can.
Hold on a minute.
You know what it means?
Oh my goodness!
Divisor. I think I
It's like the brother was
There's-
wearing a divisor
number.
when he was putting
He was
together
wearing
in
a
that rat
divisor.
visor.
A number by which
you give me the
He
definition.
just got it.
a number by which another number
That's good. That's good. Okay,
is to be divided.
that's a good.
Divisor.
And that is correct.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
I wrote
go.
it down. I got it down. I got it right too.
You did.
There we go. That's good. That was good. Good definition. So
That was.
you're able to
Good
good
job,
pivot
Ryan.
on that. Be able to figure that out.
Right
Still
here,
like
Robert.
my sentence the best.
Yeah, definitely. Divisor.
When he was playing the golf, he wore divisor to keep the sun out of his face.
burger.
All right, we're in sixth grade for
We're
Justin.
in sixth grade.
Been a while,
Divisor.
Justin, are you ready?
I think.
Your word is
Dramatic pause.
I can spell that. I can spell that. You ready?
cardinal.
Cardinal. CARDINAL.
I knew you were going to get it as soon as you pronounced it. It's a
Cardinal.
phonetic. I'm telling you. Shout out to your mom's phonetics.
Facts.
'Cause
Phonics,
as soon as you
baby.
pronounced it, I'm like, he's got it because you said the letter that is easy to forget in that word. I knew you had it as soon as you repeat.
I love
okay.
your confidence in me, Sam.
At
At least you know I can spell, dude.
You're doing great.
That's great.
All right.
I
Sam,
wait
you're
for
up.
the little squiggly lines to show up on my computer to know how to spell things.
I anticipate them.
And your word is disarray.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is it disarray? Say it. Say it. You say it.
Disarray.
Is it what?
Disarray.
The girl he tries to date's name is Disarray. DISSARAY.
And that is incorrect.
Oh, how does it go?
DISARR.
Two R's?
2 R's.
Disarray.
Yo, it doesn't even look right when I'm writing
I'm
it
be
out.
honest with you, it doesn't
I
look
feel
right
like
on here.
I felt like the way that you spelled it is exactly how I would have spelled it.
Disar.
Is there a disarray? There is a
Can you use
disarray,
that?
like in
I'm
disarray.
gonna look
Someone's
this one
in
up here. This
disarray.
one, they might be. You know what? I don't.
No, listen.
I think you're right, Robert. We trust you.
Disarray.
Disarray definition. Containing 2 atoms, molecules, or groups.
Yeah, definitely didn't think along that line. So
no,
the
not the
other
slightest.
disarray is probably what you were
No.
thinking
I don't
of.
know why. Never mind. I looked up DI.
Yeah, Yeah,
I thought I typed
DISS.
up the whole. There we go. Disarray.
The old,
A state of disorganization. Yeah, that's better.
yeah.
Or,
Right.
yes.
It's just one S, huh?
That's what they're showing.
Interesting.
I believe it. I'm not going to argue it.
Yeah, we're not knocking you.
That was
That was 6th grade.
That was 6th grade. Okay. So Justin, you got it right. You're the official winner of the spelling bee. Would you like to continue on just for posterity's sake? See how far you can go.
Honestly.
Let's go. Great. Give him a grade 7. Now we're just focusing on Justin, and I'm here just for the fun of it. But he has got
right,
he's got the winner of the first spelling bee.
All right. Are you ready for this one, Justin?
Yeah.
7th grade.
Your word is euphemism.
Euthanism?
Euphemism.
Euphemism. I didn't even know that was a word.
Me either.
Euphemism? Can you use it in a sentence or a definition if you can?
I can.
Euphemism?
I'm gonna need a computer over here.
Euphemism.
A sentence. I need a sentence.
Or just definition. Either
yeah,
or. We're not going to get too crazy on this.
A mild or indirect word of or expression substitutes. This is funny reading this.
All right, say it one more time.
It is an English used word. That I can tell you.
Euphemism.
Euphemism. EUPHAMISIM.
This is where we need to get the buzzer.
Yeah, this
You
one
were close.
was like
You're
No,
close.
you're not though.
Well, how does it go?
EUPHEM. So you had AM.
EUPHEM.
Wow, so I was there.
ISM.
Like a letter off.
Mm-hmm.
Euphemism or euphemism?
How did you say it the second time?
Nism?
Euphemism?
I got stuck because I saw his face when I said it. Euthatism.
Euthatism.
That's what it is. YOTHITSM.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is it youth?
The youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the EU. You had that worked out.
That,
pretty
or
good.
I couldn't tell if he was saying or
Right. Yeah, it is hard.
TH or PH, you know?
We'll have to figure out a system where just AI reads it or something like
Yeah.
that. Get that sorted out.
Because Robert stinks.
All right, so at least we're asking like the opposite of a good speller to say these words for us. Poor Robert, he got put on the spot.
We love you, Robert.
We like threw this at him last
Can I say
minute.
literally-
this? How can I say this any
We're like-
better? Euphemism.
Honestly, like if Justin was reading these words off, we'd all be able to spell them perfectly.
Yo, facts.
Because
I'm
the
too
way
phonetic.
he pronounces things is so phonetic.
It's to the
Like,
letter.
react.
Yeah.
React.
Literally spelling
I
it for
can
me.
still see the big box of phonics stuff that my mom had.
Yeah,
it
it's-
was just not
it's so
fun.
good. It's so good.
I got the
So,
benefits,
do your
but
siblings have the same kind of thing in their
pretty
situation?
positive they do. We're all pretty good spellers, I will say.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
definitely
well,
worked.
now I know what game not to repeat again in the future. That leads us to, aside from the good old segment, what did you learn?
Sam, you're not as great of a speller as I gave you. I've always given you credit, probably, to be low key. Like, I've never given you the direct credit, right? Never said
You thought I
Sam's a
was a
great
speller.
speller, but I'm like, dude, he can do math in his head, so he could probably spell things in his head.
So I crushed my SATs, nearly got a perfect score in the math, and not so much. It's really good. Listen, I'm a hardcore victim of Microsoft Word and spell check.
Yeah,
Because
Man,
I can write,
makes it
I can
easy.
write, I can type. Like today, I wrote a sermon, fine, get my flow going, and then I have to hit that little button because I send my sermon off to so many different people. I'm like, oh, I don't want them to
know that you can't spell.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
hopefully they're not watching. Now they know.
send it out there.
Well, hopefully they are watching.
I learned that I need to get on the K-Buck train.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some
I
songs
need-
tonight.
And
So
be
I
smooth.
need a brother under Christ control,
baby.
Yo, that is so 90s. But I love 90s hip hop. I love not 90s Christian hip hop.
Yeah, nothing like it.
There is
Nothing
nothing
like
like it. And the other thing too, you can understand the lyrics.
Yeah,
Understand the lyrics.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. Like today's music, today's like I'm just
you could spell everything that they're saying.
oh yeah, well
That's
they're
how
using
clear
pretty
it is.
simple words like yo, Jesus put his name on my hat, and then I named my cat after disciple Matt. And it's like,
I mean, that's true. Yeah, like nowadays, like I gotta listen to like the same line 20 times before I'm like figuring out what was said because there's like 15 words in like 2 seconds.
and you don't have the inside cover of the CD album anymore to bop along through with it. So remember that
even in the tape player, the tape booklet would have it too.
Sitting right along with it, banging right. Mayor Rob, did you learn anything today?
I did. Well, I did. It's good to be back.
Well, that makes at least one of us is glad that Mayor Rob is back. This has been episode 18 of Making Light of It.
Oh yeah, you already said
What's that? I already learned some stuff. We're in total disarray. Let's get out of this thing before we ruin it. I'm Sam.
I'm Justin.
God bless.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Making Light of It. Please connect with us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links in the description of this episode. We would love to hear from you. Please feel free to email us at makinglightofitpod@gmail.com. And remember to like, share, or subscribe so you'll be notified when the next podcast is uploaded. Thank you, and as always, God bless.
And that's what happens when you go on a fly.